Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to design this light switch wall plate, just like the one seen here, using Fusion 360 sheet metal options. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to do is come on up, we're going to do a File and New Design. Alright, so the next thing we want to do is set the thickness of our sheet metal. So we're going to come up to Modify and we're going to click on Sheet Metal Rules, and we're going to find stainless steel inches because that's what we're making our light switch wall plate out of, is stainless steel. So I'm going to click on this little caret symbol right here, and I'm going to click on this icon right here, and we're going to change the thickness now of our sheet metal to 18 gauge, which has a thickness of 0.0478. And up here, we're going to just call it wall plate or light switch wall plate, whatever. Okay, and then hit save and then close. All right, so once that's done, now we can start designing our actual light switch wall plate. And to do that, we're going to start a sketch just like we normally would in our solid option over here. So we're going to start a sketch here on the XY plane, and we're going to drag out a 2-point rectangle here, and we want the following dimensions. So we want the height here to be 4.64, and I'm going to hit the tab button, and we want the width here to be 2.83. I'm going to hit enter. Okay, so we have something like that, and I'm going to finish my sketch. Okay, and now I'm going to come over here to the flange button, and I'm going to click there, and then I'm going to click on this surface here of our rectangle, and notice it automatically sets the thickness of our metal, which we determined earlier to be 18 gauge steel, or 0.0478 inches thick. And I'm going to go ahead and click OK. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do now is to create the metal tabs, or the flanges that stick out. These are the pieces of metal that we're going to actually bend with our pan and box brake in our classroom. So to do that, we're going to click on the flange button, and we're going to click on these edges right here, right there, right there, and right there. Okay, and we're going to set our distance here to be 0.2. Okay, and looks pretty good. And we're going to make a couple other adjustments here. But one thing I want you to note is you can also adjust the angle of these bends. Okay, we're gonna bend them in my class at 90. All right. So we have our height set to 0.2, our angle set to 90. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna override a couple of rules. All right, and we're gonna set our bend override the radius here. So we're gonna adjust this guy right here. Okay, we're gonna make those as tight as we can with our box and pan brake here in class. So I'm gonna try to get them to about 0.01. Okay, bend radius. And then we're going to come on down here to second bend corner override, and we're going to set the relief here now to tear. Okay, so we just basically have these straight bends without this round corner override here, and we're going to select OK. Okay, so when you're done, hopefully you have something that looks about like that. Okay. All right, and once that's done, we can start adding the other features to our light switch wall plate here. Okay, we need to make the hole for our light switch to pop out of. So once again, it's just like we're using the design mode. We're going to start a sketch on here. Okay, and I'm going to actually rotate it around here. And let's see here. Actually, let's do it this way, and then I'm going to drag out a rectangle here right on the surface. I'm going to dimension now the size of this guy to be 0.98 with a height and then a width here of 0.45, and then we need to specify its location here. So from this corner to here, we want that distance to be 1.89. Okay, enter. And then from this distance to this side, we want that distance to be 1.18. All right, looks good. Let's go ahead and finish our sketch. And we're going to extrude that guy out, the thickness of the metal, a distance of minus 0.0478, which is the thickness of our 18 gauge steel. Make sure it says cut, select OK. Okay, and now we need to create the holes so we can screw this light switch wall plate into the wall here. So once again, let's start a sketch there. Okay, we're going to come over to create, and we're going to put a couple points here. Put a point right around here and a point right there. And let's go ahead and dimension these points. Okay, for this point to down here, we want it to be 3.54 inches. And then from to this side, we want it to be 1.18. I'm sorry, 1.42. And same thing with this one, 1.42. Okay, and then we need another dimension for this guy, and we want this dimension to be 1.16 inner. Okay, and once that's done, we can finish our sketch. Okay, and we're going to come over to create, down to holes. We're going to click there and there, and then we are going to set this distance here to 0.25. And down here, we want this distance to be 0.15. And our overall hole depth, we'll just set that to the thickness of the metal, which once again is 0.0478. Okay, and that looks pretty good. Go ahead and select OK. All right, so there we have our light switch wall plate. Pretty much done. The last thing we want to do is go up to Modify and change the physical material here. Okay, and we want to go to Metal and go down to Stainless Steel, because that's what we're making it out of. Find it and go ahead and drag it. Select Close. Don't forget to save it when you're done, and it's always cool to come on over here to Render so you can kind of see that really cool shiny stainless steel metal option. Okay? Alright, well that'll do it for this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.